Xuanji spotted a broken shard of mirror on the ground. The moment she picked it up, it cut her hand. And just like that, blood dripped onto the surface. But what she saw in the reflection wasn't her face. It was a glimpse of the heavenly realm's past. Then, out of nowhere, she transformed, becoming someone else entirely. And in that form, she pulled Sifeng out of the barrier. He tried to go back for his mask, but Xuanji stopped him. "It's too dangerous," she said. The monstrous Zhulong chased after them, but just in time, Hao Cheng, the top disciple of the Shaoyang sect, appeared, forced the creature back, and sealed the barrier again. But when the sect leader showed up and saw what had happened, he was furious. Once again, it was all Xuanji's fault in his eyes. The secret realm is sacred ground to the Shaoyang sect. No one enters it without facing consequences. So the sect leader ordered that Xuanji be locked away in the infamous Mingxia cave. Cold, damp, and full of eerie cries, it was a punishment reserved only for the most serious offenders. Both Linglong and Sifeng wanted to defend her, but they couldn't do anything. Then the vice palace master of Li's palace arrived. He saw Sifeng without his mask and didn't waste the chance to scold him. He even tried to dig into the secret of Shaoyang's realm, but the sect leader shut him down fast, telling him to stay out of other sects' business. The truth is, Shaoyang's biggest fear wasn't just that someone entered the realm. It was how easily Xuanji had done it. 16 years ago, a celestial official warned them. Over the next 25 years, the barrier would weaken. And long ago, a prophecy foretold that someone without emotion or a heart would unlock the secret realm and awaken the glazed lamp. Lu Yang, the sect leader's junior, reminded everyone Xuanji hadn't cried or shown a single emotion her whole life. Was she the one from the prophecy? He urged the leader to keep her locked in Mingxia cave until the truth came out. Linglong overheard everything and ran straight to Xuanji, who was still staring into the mirror shard, once again seeing flashes of a war that took place 1,000 years ago in the heavenly realm. Linglong warned her. Their father was planning to keep her locked away for life. If she couldn't prove she had feelings, if she couldn't cry, she might never be allowed to leave. Desperate, Linglong tried every sad scenario she could imagine, but nothing worked. Xuanji just couldn't cry. So Linglong got creative. Chili powder. Maybe irritation could do what emotion couldn't. It stung Xuanji's eyes terribly. But still, not a single tear fell. Worse yet, they got caught. And in the end, Xuanji was dragged back into that cold, haunted cave. Sifeng, meanwhile, was taken back to face the brutal 13 disciplinary strikes. His friend Ruoyu didn't want to hurt him, but the jealous vice palace master forced him to go harder. But there was one problem. Sifeng had already registered for the upcoming Flower Crown tournament. If he dropped out now, Li's palace would lose face in front of the other sects. Elder Luo had no choice but to step in and ask for Sifeng to stay, for now. If he could win, maybe it would soften the punishment. Back in the cave, Xuanji collapsed from the cold and exhaustion. At the same time, Sifeng was trying to find his mask, and that meant returning to the secret realm. But the entrance was sealed tight. He realized he'd need Xuanji's help again. The problem? Mingxia Cave was locked down tighter than ever. He tried to reach her, but even Linglong couldn't get inside. Then he overheard something. Xuanji could only be freed if she cried. That gave him an idea. He needed something to make her cry. In the cave, Xuanji was miserable, but her biggest pain wasn't the cold. It was the guilt. She'd taken off Sifeng's mask, and that's what got him punished. Meanwhile, dark forces were moving. The demon stars Rahu and Ketu were aligning again. The Demon King was already planning. His people had infiltrated the Flower Crown tournament, and deep underground, the Earth Wolf was torturing a captured merman for the whereabouts of the Divine Strategy Sea Scroll. Xiao Liu brought food to Xuanji, made by Linglong. She wasn't used to flavors, but as she ate, something changed. For the first time, she could taste it. She was excited. Maybe something in her was awakening. Xiao Liu told her, try crying. She tried, but still, nothing. Then, Linglong and Xiao Liu stumbled upon a book Sifeng had left behind, the Manual of 10,000 Demons. Inside, a recipe, incense that could make someone cry, but it required a rare ingredient, something that only grew on a monster at the Flower Crown tournament. The sect leader was already assigning duties for the tournament, and the final challenge? defeating the Gu Diao, the very creature that carried the incense ingredient. Linglong was thrilled. She had Xiaoliu sneak into Shouyang Hall using his earth-burrowing technique to find a way to join the tournament. But they got caught. Fortunately, tradition allowed everyone present to enter their names into a lottery. So they did. The names were drawn. Dongfang, master of Floating Jade Island, Yinghong of Xiaoyang Sect, Sifeng of Li's Palace, Zhang Minyan, Xiaoliu, Chu Lei, the Xiaoyang Sect leader himself, Hao Chen, and finally, to everyone's shock, Xuanji. Turns out, Xiaoliu had secretly swapped Linglong's name for Xuanji's just to give her a way out of that cave. Thanks to Hao Chen's persuasion, the sect leader agreed to let Xuanji out, at least for now. Linglong and Xiaoliu rushed to tell her. Linglong beamed. "You've been chosen for the Flower Crown tournament." Xuanji blinked. "I've never even seen a demon. How am I supposed to catch one?" Linglong smiled. "Who cares? Let's just get you out of here." Back at Li's palace, the Vice Palace Master reminded Sifeng why the mask mattered. It wasn't just for discipline. It was to protect the heart, to stop disciples from falling into worldly attachments. He warned Sifeng to get his mask back. Fast. Sifeng went to Xuanji again. He needed her to help him re-enter the secret realm. But Xuanji refused. She didn't want to break the rules again. So Sifeng dragged her along anyway. He promised to help her get the Gu Diao's ingredient for the incense, and swore her father wouldn't find out. Xuanji hesitated, but in the end, she trusted him. She hooked pinkies with him. "It's a promise." Sifeng panicked and jumped back. "Don't get so close." The tournament finally began. Xuanji asked her 6th senior brother to carry her on his sword, but he turned her down. Sifeng refused too, saying it wouldn't be proper. Thankfully, Hao Chen stepped in. "I'll take you." Meanwhile, Xiaoliu was secretly sneaking Linglong down the mountain so she could join them. As Hao Chen flew slowly through the sky with Xuanji, she laughed and shouted, "Faster!" He smiled softly. "All right,